Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic Unleashed. Today we're going to tackle our first side act of the game as decided by you, dear viewers. Thank you very much again for participating in the democratic process. We are going to Act 3 of Apotos, that is our second small day act. Discounting the tutorial, which is, after all, Act 1, and I'm sorry for writing it wrong in the poll. We have to walk there first, that's not a big deal, we already know where it is, and it gives us the opportunity to rectify the blind mistake that I did last time, where I did not see this medal floating here, but no problem, that's what replaying stuff and editing is for. We now have enough sun medals and can go here into Act 3, which is obviously a little shorter than the others because it only has 3 total medals. And think fast because you immediately have to jump here or you will die. But don't worry, there will be enough death in the future because boy, this level is short but it can kill you fast. These side acts are no joke. They are all very heavily based around the gimmick. In this one it's quite obvious, it's rail grinding. We are grinding and nothing but grinding the entire level, and it is a doozy. I like this level, it's fun, it is really cool to hit the jumps at the right time, to put some boost in between, to really squeeze out a little bit of extra speed, to get hit by these spike things here, have some dynamic camera stuff going on. They definitely are still putting a whole bunch of effort into the presentation of even this small part of the game. It is really cool, but it is ball busting if you try to get everything here. Let me tell you, this level is 1 minute long. We are almost done already. Whoa, that was close. And there it is. It is finished. It's 1 minute and 3 seconds. And I only have a B rank, and I don't have all the medals, so one was rather obvious, the sun medal, but the 2 moon medals are, we saw them, but it's not super easy to get them, as we're going to see. So we go right back in, and we are ready for a little bit of a failure reel, because this one didn't work out at all. I'm standing here like an idiot, so let's try again at the start. And I include even these restarts here because, like in many Sonic games, when you restart you actually lose a life. So I wanted to preserve even the ones that are not super obvious because, well, we will see how my lives dwindle while I am doing this, failing a few jumps at the start, playing around a little bit with what I can actually do here. For example, here I jump over this, get the medal, nice, and I do not make it. You can do that, but well, I didn't. Second medal, I know where it is, it's here, and oh, that's not far enough. There is actually an ability we can wait for, which would make this trivia, but you can do it right now, I know this, so I am trying, and I am failing, because it is actually quite hard. Oh, I didn't think fast enough, I actually didn't jump high enough, but yeah, that can happen, and that's notorious, the stage for that. When you are not prepared to hit jump immediately, then, well, you die. And also this can happen, going back, and finally I hit this ring. This is actually really tough to hit because you cannot really do it on reflex, in my opinion. It is barely possible to see that coming fast enough. You really have to know, and I'm extremely bad at remembering it. This is how you're intended to do this, by the way. Stomp! First use in a day stage. Nice, isn't it? You can just kill your momentum and fall down immediately. That's nice. I didn't jump in time. It's close. How about this? And barely made it. You see, it's possible. It's just very tight. So let's finish this one up here because the final part of the stage is fortunately relatively trivial. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? It is a little bit slower, and of course it's just an A rank. S rank is 100,000 points in this small act, by the way. And now that we have gotten all the medals, there's no reason to keep playing here, right? Wrong, because, whoops, I do in fact want to get the S rank. Why am I doing this for this level and not for the others? Because this one here is extremely easy to replay and quickly grind. So what I'm going for here is basically whenever I make a mistake, like a dumb mistake here, just quickly restarting because, you know, it saves a little bit of time, not listening to Sonic's death scream all the time. And then I see how far I can go before I make another stupid death. This is relatively quick and easy, and in total I was only recording for 16 minutes and I cut this down a bunch for the 10 you are seeing right now. So that's not a big deal. For the other day stages that can be 3 to 5 minutes long, resetting after the 4th minute is, you know. Yeah, anyway, you will excuse me if you do not go over every single jump here. I think the level is rather self-explanatory. It is a blast, as I said, to go through, but it is very, very hard to do it optimally. You basically have to memorize every single jump point, where exactly you go where. You probably do want to hit the stomp there, because that would give you another 1000 points, and the points are tight, you know. It's not that easy to get all of them, but yeah, hitting the rainbow rings does in fact give you a bunch of points. How does this attempt look like? We are under a minute now, and we sadly only also got an A rank, so there is still a bunch to improve. And now here's a thing that I actually learned while I was looking at the S rank requirements and what the scoring system actually means in this game. Because compared to, for example, Sonic 06, which at the very least had a super transparent scoring system, where you just kill enemies for points, you get some extra points, for example, through rainbow rings there as well. And then you get a speed factor at the end, and that's basically it. And then ring bonus, of course. Yeah, so whenever you get hit, just start over. It's not worth it anymore. But what you have here as well in Unleashed is a very obscure speed stat. What does speed even mean? Like, I mean, you have a time bonus, yes, that makes sense, but what does speed mean? Well, it turns out that you get more points if you boost through checkpoints. And the game tallies that up. You might have seen that the UI is slightly overloaded, so I haven't commented on it yet. But yeah, you can in fact gain extra points just by boosting through a checkpoint. But this level doesn't have any checkpoints, so there is only a single opportunity to boost through the goal ring. And that nets you, in fact, quite a substantial amount of points, because there is not that much more in this level, as that there are no enemies to gain points from. There are a bunch of rainbow rings, yes, but otherwise there are usually points for cool stuff, like nailing the quick time events. Those give you points, by the way. But otherwise, that's basically what you have to do. You get as many rainbow rings as you can, which requires basically memorizing a good route, and then you boost through the goal ring, which is something I didn't do here because I was so afraid of falling off the railings at the end that I did not get the rings, ran out of ring energy, and if you don't have that, then you can't boost, right? So it's like, it's almost like the game asks you to sustain a boost, ideally start to definitely finish, so that you can prove that you have truly mastered a level. This is a huge ask, and this is a big part of why I think it's going to be a while until I actually grind out S ranks for all of the stages. It's just a demonstration of one of the shortest levels in the game, what you have to do for that. These are a lot of attempts, and I am not bad at Sonic in my opinion, but you have to be really good at Sonic to be proficient at Unleashed, and this run still is not perfect, right? There are still a bunch of mistakes I make, and I'm still a little bit timid about using my boost efficiently. There is a lot more that I could have done here, but I do hit a bunch of the rainbow rings. For this one, again, like, it's really tough to hit the timing, at least for me, because I'm a dumbass about memorizing things, just don't want to do it. But I picked this route here, and now I have the boost, and now I know, yes, I do want to get the rings, and I get all of them, boost through the ring, and watch this, 10,000 points for speed bonus. That's 10% of what you need. So just boosting through the goal is 100% necessary to get the S rank here. And if you don't know this, wow, boy, are you going to struggle. So take this as a little bit of a tip from the master, who has just proven that he can S rank a single day stage in Sonic Unleashed. Congratulations to me. I hope this was entertaining for you, maybe a little bit helpful. And if you like this, tell me. Thank you very much for your attention.